It's going to be a great day and a great week. I'm your host, Arielle Chanelle, and I'm glad to be back with you for another episode. I am very, very excited about this episode, but at the same time, I'm like, what's going on? How did we get to December? How did we get to the end of the year? I feel like it was just January. I feel like I was just talking with you all about the top of the year and how we made it through 2020, and it was a really long year, and then we get to 2021 and it's like super speed and just everything is on fast forward. But I'm glad that we're here. I'm glad that we've made it to another month. I am glad that we were able to experience everything we experienced in 2021. And I want to take some time just to recap and review some things that we've talked about within this year. So these next few episodes are going to be recap episodes. They'll also be time to just reflect on everything that has happened, even that we haven't talked about within this year. So before we start, I want to give my thankfulness and shout out. That goes to the University of Pittsburgh. As you see, I have my Pitt hoodie on today. I want to just say congratulations to the football team. They are the ACC champions. The game was amazing. I watched every minute of it and was super excited. They did an awesome job. And also shout out to Wake Forest. They did an amazing job as well. It was a really, really, really good game. Honestly, I enjoyed watching that game better than some NFL games that I watch. So I want to give my shout out to them, and I want to say that I'm thankful for the University of Pittsburgh, because for those that don't know, that's my alma mater. That's where I went to college, and there's a lot of things that I now look back on and realize that I am very grateful that that is the school that I went to. While I was there, I had moments that I did not appreciate the school. I did not appreciate it at all. I did not appreciate being there. I didn't really appreciate college. And when I look back and think about moments that I've had, the journey that I went through, every path that I changed, and starting out over here and thinking I'm going to be in one field and then switching to something else and now not being in either of those things, it gives me a moment to see that life really is a journey, and we can appreciate every bit of that journey. And I am grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the friends that I've made. I'm grateful when I look and see all the amazing things that they're doing. So I just have to say thank you, University of Pittsburgh, for being the place that helped start my adult journey and transition me from being a young tot in grade school to going on and finding my way in the world. Well, with that being said, let's go to the first recap. And I want to recap an episode that I did at the top of the year in January. It wasn't the first episode. I believe it was like the second episode of the year. But it was an episode called Bloom. And in that episode, I talked about my planner, my Bloom planner. And I have it with me today so you can see what it looks like, because back then we weren't on video, and if you're listening to this you still can't see what it looks like, but it's a really nice little design, stone looking design planner, pretty big book and hefty, but there's so much in it that's amazing. And I'm not going to show you inside the pages because I've written in them and it's all my personal stuff, so I'm not going to open it up and show you what's inside. But at the top of the year, I wrote out some goals and some things that I was looking forward to, things that I wanted most for myself for this year. And at, let's say about October, around October, November, top of November, I was having a moment where I felt like I just was not accomplishing anything. It felt like this year had flown by, and yet again, I had not reached not one goal that I set out for myself. Nothing was happening. Time's moving, and I'm not. That's what my brain was telling me. Because sometimes I do have moments of negative talk and moments where my brain will tell me the opposite of what's really going on and the opposite of the wonderful things that are happening for me in my life. Now, this was the first year that I've ever used a planner like this. Normally, if I do get a planner, it's one that just has the dates or maybe a space where you could put your schedule or something like that, but not one that is so strategically broken down to help you accomplish your goal and help you grow in life. So as I'm sitting and thinking about what I was going to do for this year, I was like, okay, let's do recap videos. What are we going to do? I'm going back listening to some of the old episodes from the podcast, and I looked at the Bloom episode and I was like, oh yeah, I was talking about my planner. Let me go and look at that and just listen. And when I went back in my planner, I actually noticed that I accomplished way more this year than I thought I did. And that's all because I took the time to write it down and write down what it is that I was looking forward to for this year. And taking the time to write down what I was expecting for myself, what I was expecting from other people, all of these things. I took the time to write it out. And month by month with the Bloom planner, it will help you not just see what you want to do for the year, but break it down into smaller goals. Now, I know you're saying, okay, Arielle, well, if you had done that and if you had broken everything down in your planner, why is it that you felt like you didn't accomplish anything? Glad you asked that question. I did not put this to use as best as I could. And there are a lot of times where I would ignore it, where I would put stuff in it, but I really didn't work it the way that I needed to. So once I got to the end of the year, a lot of things that I thought I would have gotten to, I thought I would have done, I hadn't done. But a lot of that is because I did not take the time to work the tools that I had and to use the resources at my hand. So I want to take a moment and encourage you. If you have not already, go back and look at some of the things that you've written down for yourself and see, have you accomplished them? Have you moved towards them? Whatever it is. And if you haven't, and if you don't write them down, ask yourself, why don't I write out goals for myself? Why don't I put them down? Why don't I keep track of what is going on? And you may shock yourself with why and the reason, and it may help you do some further digging into your life. But I know there are things that I wrote in this book that when I wrote it, I can remember not even really believing that it was possible, but just writing it because I knew it was what was on my heart. And I knew it was the thing that I really wanted, even though I could not see it. And I could not see how it would happen. And a lot of those things were things that happened. And I look at it and I look at it in amazement right now, just in total awe of how this year has transpired. So with that being said, that is all that I have for you all. That's my recap. It's recapping the Bloom episode. You can go back and listen to me talk more about the Bloom Journal. And yes, this is not a paid sponsorship. I'm not getting paid to do this. I'm not getting paid to talk about my planner, but I do want to talk to you all about how to plan your day and how to plan it in a way where you are thriving and you are successful. And if I have to talk about different tools to do so, then that's what I'll do. And this is one of the tools that I use to help get me where I need to be. So I hope that you find what works for you. It may not be a planner, and it took me a long time to get here as well. Like I said, normally wouldn't really write in them, but I find now that it's helpful for me. Maybe it's a note on your phone. Maybe it's utilizing your your reminders on your phone and setting reminders to remind yourself of what you are looking forward to and what you are striving to do. And you will be amazed at how much you actually will achieve and how far you can go within just 1 year. So I will let you all get to your week, because we only have a few more days left in this year, and some of those things that you haven't accomplished, you can get it done before the year is out. I have faith in you, and I trust that you'll do it. I will talk to you all next week. Bye.
That's all for now on Good Morning Love. You can continue talking with me on Instagram at Arielle Chanelle or on Facebook at Arielle Chanelle Music. Let me know what you think. And until next time, remember, always wake up with love.